am. Alright, y'all, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Let's get loaded. August 17th. I actually forgot where we were. What happened? I forgot. I came back hours later after a little drink. Oh, okay, we had this huge argument, and then the dude was like, you know what? I don't want to remember my past life still, so he left. Because he was tired of being confronted by people. I came back hours later after a little drinking and a lot of pointless wandering. The apartment was empty. Her things were gone? I only realized that after I read the letter. The letter was on the table next to our half-finished dinner. There was a key next to the letter, too. Her key to the apartment. I remember the letter word for word, so why don't I write it down here? Wouldn't that be fun? Whose letter? Jack, it said. I can't stay with you anymore. You're only going to make yourself more miserable. And I can't help you, and I can't watch you do this to yourself. I pray there's someone who can help you like I couldn't, and I hope you'll be happy. Goodbye. Grace didn't need to sign the message. I would have recognized those neat letters anywhere. So she did actually write. I would think it would have been a ruse conducted by Anna, but guess not. I'd seen that same handwriting during our brief year together on dozens, if not hundreds, of little notes. Shift schedules, reminders to buy snacks or milk, things like that. There were, in fact, at least half a dozen of the yellow post-it notes she used still around the apartment. Seeing them hurt. There were a lot of other things Grace hadn't taken with her, too. Socks, pants, a few undershirts, a scarf, one pair of shoes, a sweater she really liked, too. She would have worn the sweater while napping in the evening. It was all evidence of how much of a hurry she'd been in to get away from me. Now I know better. Know better than what? Morning, everyone. The patients all greet her. I do too. Well, well. I'm happy to see you finally stop being Mr. Grumpy. Well, you know. Do you feel better? Does the leg still hurt? I'm a little better, I guess. At peace. That's great. You'll be up on your feet in no time, I'm sure. Free to come back home. I laugh like hell. Anna probably doesn't see what's so funny. She smiles vacantly. I guess she does love me in her own way. It doesn't matter, though. Remembering the pain she caused me has given me conviction. My heart is set on killing her. August 18th. My health is vastly improving. Doctor's words, those, and I feel it. I don't wake up at night so much anymore, choking on pain. And I don't get so angry anymore that I have to chew my own fingers so I don't end up shouting. I really am at peace. I know what to do. I know what I have to do. I feel like I don't have a choice in the matter. I'm a train going down a set of tracks at a few hundred miles per hour, no turns, no brakes. Whatever happens, will happen. It's strangely calming. For now, I'll keep riding. I know a good point to stop. After Grace left, I spent the first night alone on the kitchen floor. It was where my legs happened to give in under me after hours of walking back and forth in the apartment. I had paced around like a caged animal, looking under pillows and carpets and poking my heads in closets. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I'd find her there. I woke up in the afternoon with a blanket over me. I thought that Grace had done it, that she'd come back. She hadn't. I guess it must have been Anna. That wench. I didn't go to work, I didn't eat, I don't remember drinking any water, but I must have, and I must have slept a lot too. It turned out I needed Grace more than I thought I did, certainly more than she needed me. I was all alone that day, that night, and the day after, too, right up until the evening. That's when she made her move. The windows were closed and the blinds were drawn. It must have been stuffy and hot in the apartment. I lay on the couch shivering. I held my chest, the sweater Grace had left. I held to my chest the sweater Grace left. I was about to slip into uncomfortable sleep when the front door, what am I saying today? Oh my gosh, front door opened. My heart skipped a beat before the sight of the person coming in disappointed me. Oh, she is finally wearing something new. Hello. Jack. I stared at her. What's wrong? Stare. She tried to get me to talk, but I was not in the talking mood. Eventually found the letter still on the table, pretended to find it. Oh, Jack. Oh, darling. Go away. You're hurt, I know. She's terrible, isn't she, to have hurt you so badly? The sweater was soft against my skin. It smelled of her. I know she's awful. Let me help. She brought her hand near my face. I turned my head away. I'm the one who can make you happy, you know. You won't have to remember that girl ever again. You won't want to, I promise. Her hand found my cheek. And it had only been 2 days since I last seen Grace, had last touched her, but it was like I had already forgotten a person's warmth. I raised my hand to bat hers away and found that I couldn't do it. So I put my hand on hers. I was close to tears. There were so many emotions in me that confused and overwhelmed me. But Anna was here, and she was whispering that she'd never leave. So, we made love there on the couch. Afterwards, I used the sweater to wipe the sweat off me. Anna lay next to me, soft and warm, both her arms wrapped around one of mine. Well, that was a bad move for someone who's stalking you and all that, you know. I feel like that shouldn't have happened. In the morning, after a long, long night, Anna looked to me and asked me in a question. I'm tired, aren't you? Uh-huh. I won't go to work today. I'll call in sick. What about you? I don't know. I won't go to work. I hadn't thought at all about work. It was so irrelevant. That's a good idea. Hey, I'm going to my apartment. I want to have a nice hot shower. Come with? Sure, yes. My apartment had a perfectly working shower, of course, but I didn't want to be by myself. I was scared. She looks too happy about this. After I had a shower at her place, Anna told me I could stay there for a while. Until you feel better, she told me. What do you say? I said yes, and that's how it went. I have a feeling Anna did have something to do with the breakup, though. She probably talked Grace into breaking up with him after he left. I don't feel shame for what I did. I know I should, but I don't. The problem is I don't really feel like I did any of that. It's more like I was watching myself do those things, watching myself get tricked, and cheat on Grace, and live with that woman who's caused so much misery, to so many people. I know I should be ashamed. It's a disgusting thing I did, and I can't take it back. I let myself be made into an animal. That one whole month is something I'd like to forget and to never remember. So I won't write about it, or about anything more. I've written enough. I'm done. This journal has helped me a lot, but I don't need it anymore. This is goodbye. So goodbye, JF. Jack Friday. Alright. I woke up and found the dark room. Alright, let's save right here. Alright. So maybe we have options now. I woke up and found the dark room. Incredibly dark. Chapter 5. A brand of happiness. A new brand of happiness. It didn't matter if my eyes were open or closed. The image didn't change. Something wasn't right. The air smelled different. Grace made a soft moaning sound in her sleep. She lay next to me. I reached down to make absolutely sure she was there. Jack. To hear her voice instead was like finding a snake in my bed. I almost fell over a nightstand. Are you okay? Bad dream? Stay, She touched me, skin against skin. I remembered where I was and why I was here. Better? Yeah, sorry about that. Good. I settled back onto my side of the bed. Anna ruffled my hair. You startled me. I didn't mean to. It's okay. I know you wouldn't do that. Because you love me. I got news for you. Dear Diary. It's all been worth it. All the years of waiting and hoping have been so worth it. I never expected it to go as well as it did. Now I feel so silly I ever worried. Grace the Blore is out of the picture. It was easy. She is so scared of everything. And Jack is all mine. I expected he would struggle a lot more. I'm so proud of him. Even in the terrible state he's in, no memories of us at all. He knew in his heart he should pick me over her. You're so cute, Jack. The way you're absolutely helpless without me. I'll pamper you a little more. I can do that. There's no hurry. There's no rush. We reached our happy ending. I beg to differ. I paced around Anna's bedroom. Step, 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 turn. Step, 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 turn. It wasn't a very large room, about the same size as mine, and step, 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 turn. It was dark. The curtains were drawn. But it would have been dark without them, too. The alarm clock's neon green digits hovered in the dark, showed that it was 5:10 a.m., and it was Monday. Step, step, step. Anna's bed sheets rustled. She mumbled something and sat up. Jack, why are you... I took a deep breath. It helped me keep my voice from shaking as I answered. It's nothing. Go back to sleep. What is it? Something is wrong, isn't it? Tell me. I'll make it go away. No, please. It's this stupid. Tell me. I stepped closer to the bed, banged my shin on the side and sighed. It's Monday. Anna glanced over my shoulder at the alarm clock. Yep, it is. So, I have to work. When I came back to an empty apartment, it was early Friday morning. I had missed work on Friday. I must be on thin ice already. I didn't even call in. And just don't go. But if I don't go today, they'll fire me for sure. So? What do you mean, so? This is serious. Don't be upset here. Anna got up lazily and kissed me, held me. We stood there a few moments in silence. There, doesn't it seem better now? But I still... No, sweetie, you stay in today. She braced herself harder against me. I felt her softness, the heat of her body. I could hardly feel anything else. You don't want to go to work, do you? I don't, but I mean I have to. You don't have to. It'll be fine. The world won't end. I was going to complain again, but she pressed a finger to my lips. You know what? An idea just came to me. If you move out of that awful apartment and come live with me instead, you won't have to work in that awful store anymore, either. That sounds nice, doesn't it? It sounded so good. Anna understood me so well. But I wasn't sure of myself. I asked if it was really fine for me to stay here for good. Of course. I wouldn't want you anywhere else. Of course you wouldn't. Dear Diary, oh my god, oh my goodness. How is this going so well? It never worked so well before. Not with the patients I've tried it on, even though they were terminal. Even though they had no one to visit them. All of them kept being themselves right up to the end. But with Jack, I can do anything. He is like clay. I could change him into anyone I want, anything I want. How awful. He's so lucky that it's me doing this. Could you imagine someone else with this kind of responsibility? So does she have like a supernatural power or something because of her eyes glowing red? I thought she was a succubus or something. I don't know. Who knows? No, what am I saying? Nobody else could make him so willing to change. Me, only me. He's only like this because he loves me so much. He's always loved me, even when he didn't realize it. And he'll always love me, and I'll always love him, and we'll be together forever. I don't know what you see in this guy. He seems kind of an arse. I'm so happy I could scream. Right now, I'm only teasing him a little, but that's okay. We have all the time in the world. Unlike those other boys, he's not about to expire. Did you kill people? Days went by, maybe a week. Jack. Come on, Jack. A laugh. If you don't let go of me, I can't go to work, you know. Then don't go. Stay here. Hey, one of us has to go. We need to live. I need you to live. That's very sweet, but I still have to go. I wouldn't budge. She ran her fingers through my hair. I liked that. If you get off me now, I promise I'll have a special surprise for you when I get back. Really? Really, I promise? Okay. I forced myself to let her go. After she went away, I laid back down on the bed, waited for her to come back. I did nothing else. How about you find her diary and read it, buddy? Maybe it'll be a nice little wake-up call for you. And a surprise was a big plastic bag. It was swollen, full of something. I looked at her, then at it, then at her again and frowned. You'll see. Come, we need to go somewhere. Go outside? Yes. Isn't that exciting? I looked away. What, you don't want to? I held up a pedal in front of me. It was meant to act as a barrier. Oh, you big scaredy cat. Come on. She took my arm and pulled. I wouldn't go. Her grip was strong, or maybe I'd gotten weak, but I stayed in place. Huh? So you really don't want to go? How come we can't just stay here? Oh, sweetie, I don't want the apartment to burn down. What? She made me dress in outside clothes. They were rugged and cold. The outside was even more rugged and cold. The street was wet. It must have rained. People were giving me looks. They were looking at me like I was trash. Why? What had I done to them? What had I ever done to anyone? Oh, hey. Ease up a little. You'll hurt my head. I'm sorry. That's okay. If you really don't feel like it, we can go back home right now. Really? Yes. But I know you can do this. So will you do it for me? Yeah, okay. Great. Thank you, Jack. You're so good to me. Where are we going? I don't feel comfortable. I really don't feel comfortable. Oh, no. We walked for over 15 minutes. My feet hurt and my legs make clicking sounds. I hadn't really walked in over a week, but I didn't complain. We're almost there. Do you know where we are? I shook my head. Nah, fam. Anna had led me somewhere I'd never been. Each street we passed was dirtier and grayer and more abandoned than the last, and the people looked at us all the more meanly. I thought they were going to hurt us, but Anna wasn't afraid, so I did my best to be brave too. Whatever she had in that plastic bag, it wasn't heavy. The bag was so full it was almost the shape of a big ball, but it was still swung so lightly. What do you think is in there? Anna had noticed me looking. I don't know. Want to guess? I didn't. I told her I didn't. I told her I couldn't think of anything. Oh well, you'll see soon enough. I thought it was Grace's body, or maybe Grace's belongings, but if it's so light, it might not be. Our destination, I saw 5 minutes later, was an empty street. A whole street, blocks and blocks of it, completely abandoned. The pavement was cracked, the buildings that still stood were hollow, and everything was overgrown with weeds. It was more jungle than a city street. It was ugly. I hated even looking at it. Isn't it so beautiful? Yeah. I'll show you the best spot here. It's my favorite. But it'll be all secret, okay? You can't tell anyone else. Okay. I don't see what's beautiful about it. Oh. We passed through a tunnel-like opening set in a tall, wide building. Beyond it was a field of brown-yellow grass that came up to my chest. Surrounding the grass were the sides of a large apartment building. It used to be its courtyard. The building was mottled, ugly, gray. It had most likely been a prettier color before it burned down. It had so many windows, none of which the glass was in them. They gaped down at us, empty and dark. Anna's spot was a square patch of concrete in the middle of the overgrown courtyard. Once there, Anna handed me something from the plastic bag. It was a small gas canister and a box of matches. Then she emptied the rest of the bag out on the concrete. When I saw the contents, my chest tightened and started to hurt. This is... On the ground were a few post-it notes, a pair of shoes, but most likely clothes. I had seen them before. They had belonged to someone I knew. Who? Someone I had known an eternity ago, too long ago to remember. But I knew these things were important. You know what this is? Yes, I shouldn't. It's fine if you still recognize them. Completely fine. You're not mad? I'm not mad. Give me that. Anna grabbed the gas canister from my hands. She poured the gas out onto the clothes and the shoes and the post-it notes, down to the last drop. Then she tossed the canister aside and stepped away. The canister made a tiny, empty sound as it hit the concrete. Tunk, tunk. After that, there was silence. Anna, should I? What do you think you should do? Are you really not mad? Do what you think you need to do, Jack. And do it quick. It's growing dark, and I didn't bring a flashlight. So I did what I thought I needed to do. I lit a match. It took me 3 times to get it right because of my clumsy fingers. Cradling the little fire with my hands, I brought it over her things. They were wet and stank of gasoline. I held the lit match above them. Why are you hesitating? Do you want to do this? I don't know. I needed to do what Anna wanted me to do, but the thought of doing it made me want to lie down and cry. I couldn't explain why those things were so dear to me. They just were. Wait a minute. Does he have possibly dissociative identity disorder? Maybe, instead of amnesia. Well, that would make sense, because he doesn't remember his childhood, and it seems like he has had a traumatic past, so he made up a different personality to had this life in, and then she came back, and he doesn't seem to remember Grace that much. Is it possible that he might have dissociative identity disorder? I don't know. This is just a theory. Just a theory. I couldn't explain why those things, they just were. The flame had almost reached my fingers. Anna, I don't think... Do it! I dropped the match. The little fire touched the gasoline and bloomed. And suddenly heat made me step back. Those things, those shoes and clothes and those little yellow notes were already crackling and turning into charcoal. Anna stood by me. I waited for her to scold me, but she didn't. She put her hand in mine. Our fingers interlocked. You did well. I did? Yes. When it came down to it, you did what you should. I'm proud of you. A warmth filled my chest. My worry for those scattered pieces of nothing on the ground faded away. It was with the love of my life, and she loved me and was proud of me. How could I care about some? I couldn't even remember what it had been anymore. Old clothes? Whatever. Anna giggled. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Yeah, I love this relationship. Ah ha 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 ha. It made me so glad to see Anna happy with evil joy and glee. I pulled her closer. After a good minute of laughing, she sighed, as if spent and looked up at me. Was that fun? Yep. The things on the ground had already gone out. They were black and unrecognizable. Let's go back home. Okay, Anna. You're so happy, aren't you? And why wouldn't you be? I'm happy too. The happiest I've ever been. Me too, the happiest I've ever been. Really? Yep. Thank you, Jack. That means the world to me. We went away hand in hand. Maybe she is doing something. I think, okay, it could be realistic, which might be dissociative identity disorder. Or it could be supernatural in the chance that she is perhaps sucking out his memories. That would make sense too, maybe. Because she said she couldn't do it with her other patients, that they stayed themselves into the end. So maybe she is somehow manipulating him inside of him. I can't tell either one. It could be either one. It could be none of them, for all we know. I'm interested, though. But before we walked down to the grass again, I looked back one last time at the things I had burned. Something moved at the edge of my vision up into one of the glassless windows. I looked again, but it was gone. This place is dangerous. Are there people here? You know what? There just might be. Bad people. We should get home as soon as we can. Yes, home, where it's safe. And they ran off into the moonlight. That little blunt. I hope she had a good look at us burning all that trash of hers. Oh no. Is she like locked up in there or something? And Jack burning it. God, I'm so proud of him. It hurts. I can't believe I miscalculated though. I thought Grace was gone for good. But then there she was in our hallway asking where Jack was and what I had done with him. All this while Jack was right on the other side of the door. Can you imagine what would have happened if I wasn't there? She would have knocked on the door and rung the doorbell, and she would have probably called out too. It would have scared Jack so badly I can't bear to think about it. Thankfully, I wasn't wrong about everything to do with her. She hasn't called the police. I knew she wouldn't. I just think she'd come back at all. I just didn't think she'd come back. She was still as scared as a little lamb. Her hand shook while she demanded I tell her what happened to Jack. He can't be in there, can he? She stepped forward, but when I put myself between the door and her, she backed off again. I wonder how she didn't pee herself. She was so scared. Jack doesn't want to see you. What are you doing to him? No one's seen him since I went away. It's like he disappeared. He's been here this whole time. God, what are you doing to him? Be quiet. She was making so much noise. I put a hand on her shoulder. I had to see if she had the guts to slap it away. She just stood there. Jack is perfectly fine. He's happy, and he doesn't want to see you again. I know he probably hates me now, but at least let me see him. I have to at least see him again. So annoying. Loneliness has made her desperate, unpleasant. That's what being by yourself does. Look at dear Jack. We've only been together again for a short while, and he's already such a sweetheart. And he was so prickly before. If you see him now, he'll tell you he hates you. Do you really want that? No, I don't want that, but then go away. It's as simple as that, don't you think? Even someone like you should understand. Why are you so... I thought we were... She swallowed hard. I have to see him. Anna, please. Being alone made you into a real blotch, you know that? What? Or did it... Were you lonely after all? It really makes me wonder, with how little money you took with you, I was sure you'd be living on the streets. But you're clean, you don't smell more than usual. I'm living with a friend. What does it matter? That's a lie, you don't have any friends. Grace gritted her teeth and glared at me. She wanted to run away in shame. She's so simple, so obvious. But she couldn't leave with Jack so close. So where are you staying? Whose thing are you sucking for rent? I'm not. Is that wrinkly old man you work with? It's nothing like that. I'm living with Dawn, but I'm not. Oh, aren't you? Then how are you paying back his hospitality? You don't have any money. You quit your job too, I checked. I'm not paying back anything. Don't be shy. Oh, screw you. Move. How violent. It's a good thing I separated her and Jack when I did. Any more of this girl's influence, and who knows what could have happened. I tried to shove past me, but I had a little surprise in my pocket. And that's... Yep. So don't you dare touch me again. I might do something bad. I pressed the knife against the side of her neck. I drew blood. I couldn't help myself, but it wasn't a lot. I knew she had her. I'm not going to kill someone out in the open like this. I'm not stupid. Grace stood petrified. You can't do this. You'll call the cops? No, you won't. They won't believe you. They never do. Right? She didn't lash out for once. Wow. This sounds like she told her past, probably. And her past has probably something to do with her parents or something, someone doing something really bad to her. She told the police and they didn't believe her. So she's using that against her, probably. She didn't lash out for once. She must have finally realized how useless it was to try. So she shuffled away. I waved her off. It's only polite. She didn't even look back. But then she kept following me around, even after that. What a stalker. So I had Jack burn her things. I know she was watching. It was beautiful. Now she'll back off for good. Oh. I'm back. Welcome back. Hey, easy. You'll trip. The moment she touched me with those long hours of waiting were painted over by warmth. It made me so happy. Something smells good. Is it dinner? Yes. Oh, you remembered. I'm so glad. I made a casserole. Anna set it on the table and I served it. That was really tasty, Jack. Thank you. I wasn't happy with the meal. It was tasteless and the meat was tough. But Anna said she liked it. She was so kind. I wish I could help more. What do you mean? With money, I guess. I was being serious, but she laughed. That made me feel a bit stupid. Oh, Jack, money's no problem at all. I told you already I got a lot saved up, and the rent here is nothing. Oh, okay. Anna hummed contentedly. A minute later, she stopped. There is something you can do, actually. Really? Yes, really. But I'm not sure if you'd be up to it. Anything. I'll do anything for you. Who is this guy? I feel like I have lost connection with my character because I don't know him anymore. He is too easily being pushed around by this deviant. I can't. Ugh. Okay then. Honestly, it's sickening. What is it? How can I help? Wait until before bedtime, okay? I nodded. Alright. When I heard what she wanted me to do, I didn't take it well. I was angry, furious. I felt betrayed. You want me to? Yes, I do. But no! You said I never have to remember anything. You promised. I got up from the bed and started pacing from wall to wall, never looking at Anna. What she had said hurt. How could you lie like that? Oh, baby, please don't hate me. I was shivering with anger. I thought I might faint, but I didn't hate her. I couldn't. So I stopped walking and faced her. I know I said what I said, but this is important. Don't you believe me? There was only one thing I could say. Yeah, I believe you. Thank you, Jack. I love you. But what? Believe her on what? I love you too, and I'm sorry. Don't say you're. Hearing Anna say that she was sorry was, for some reason, like a punch to the gut. It tugged at my memory. She always said, I know, but that's not what I'm telling you to remember. You must never remember that woman. Forget all you have left of her. Then, what I want you to recall goes much, much further back. It won't be easy, but when you do, when you remember, our love will be the deepest it's ever been. Don't you want that? I do. I love you. I want that. I want to love you even more. Tell me what I should remember. Anna embraced me with happy tears in her eyes, but she wouldn't tell me what I needed to remember. This pushover got all messed up with Grace when she tried to help him remember. But Anna, oh my god. He has such a character change. I can't even tell if it's him anymore. That's why I think it's dissociative identity disorder. Or she's just sucking the memories out of him. I don't know what route they're going with here, and it's killing me. She said it would be pointless if she told me. I had to remember it all by myself. Anna ordered me to sit down in front of the alarm clock every day for at least an hour. I was to do this while she was at work. I was to have my eyes closed. I was to try digging back in my memories. Far, far back. I did as I ordered, but the first time I tried, the very next day, it was all so foggy in my mind I couldn't even start. Thinking felt slow. It was like walking through molasses. It only made myself tired. Before I fell asleep sitting up, the one last thought came to me. Was thinking always so hard? The second time, too, I gave up right away. I couldn't do it. But I had promised Anna. The next day I tried harder. My head hurt and I felt like I was groping in the dark, scared and all alone. But I did it. I had promised Anna. I waited further in. Grace. A flash of a smile made my chest hurt, but I kept going. For love. Huh? Which one did I love? Which one did I hate? Things didn't used to be like this, did they? This feels so wrong. Something went terribly wrong. I need to make sense of it. What? Days later, while going back in my memory, I reached a wall, a dam. I felt I shouldn't be trying to climb over it, so I didn't. There were things out there I didn't want to see, so I went back to the puddle I kept searching through. It was a stew of love and fear and hate, given and taken, seemingly at random. It was a mess, but it was a mess in my head. I would make it make sense. So, what I'm thinking, on the realistic side of this, there are probably 3 personalities in here right now. The one that he felt that he created after he was done. Well, the one that he had before he created his personality that was working in the shop and getting with Grace. So he had a personality before that, the one that he can't remember. And then he created another personality after Grace left him for her. Yeah, he created a personality to make his needs go for hers, with hers, on top. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. There are 3 personalities, if this is what that's about. Jack! Yes, Anna. I'm going to work. Aren't you going to say goodbye? Chapter 6, Change. Oh, bye, Anna. A goodbye kiss? We kiss. Anna placed a hand on my forehead. Are you okay? You might have a fever. I can give you something for that. I smiled. I'm okay. It's just... What is it, trouble? You can tell me anything. Do you know that sandwich shop? Which one? Next to the store? I nodded. You want a sandwich from there? Yeah, if that's okay. Well, there is always a huge line there. Please, Anna, it would mean a lot to me. Oh, how can I resist? Of course, darling, I'll get you anything. What kind of sandwich do you want? Anything you pick. I'll get you something light. You're not getting much exercise. I don't want you to get fat. Is that alright? Yep. Great. And don't forget your remembering session. You've been doing those, right? Yeah. And I frowned and shook my head. Nothing yet. Oh well, it's not even been 2 weeks yet. You'll get there soon, I'm sure you will. Yeah, I will. Anna pinched my cheek, kissed me again, and left. And I went and threw up in the toilet. Oh God. I brushed my teeth and washed my mouth 3 times over. I can't go on like this. I couldn't keep living here. Yikes. That was a full 180. I waited 10 minutes until I was sure Anna was gone. Then I pulled back the heavy curtains. Down on the street, there was a single person looking sad in the bed. I waved at her. She looked up, nodded, and walked into the building. Is it Grace? Hi, Jack. I was so happy to see her I wanted to cry. Oh, Grace. We'd started seeing each other in secret 5 days ago. There's the Jack that I kinda half know. Rebellious Jack, I like it. I knew how long exactly I had started counting the days again. The big cloud of confusion in my brain was gone. It wasn't Anna's dog anymore. It was Anna's own fault. What else could she expect, having me dig around in my past like that? But it was scary how close I'd come to letting go. If things were a bit different, I might have kept on being a half-mute idiot forever. And I never would have let Grace inside. When I first heard Grace's voice again, I thought I finally snapped. I thought I was hallucinating, but I opened the door and there she was. Grace? Grace, I'm so happy to see you. After your message, I thought I'd never... Don't say that. Don't say anything, just for a minute. We put our arms around each other. We'd only been apart for a few weeks, but so many things had happened that felt like years. I knew it. You don't hate me. I didn't know what she was talking about, but I didn't really care. Only one thing mattered right now. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I've been working up the courage to leave ever since I become myself again. As stupid as it seems, I was afraid of going outside. But with Grace here, I could leave. I could do anything. We can't. Huh? You're not going to leave here? Not yet. Why not? Do you have any idea what it's like for me in here? I can't imagine, Jack, and I'm so sorry. I didn't believe you. You knew how dangerous Anna was right from the start. That's all the more reason to get the hell away. I told you, not yet. This isn't something we can run away from. I so wish we could just pack up and leave, but Anna's going to follow us everywhere we go. God damn it! I'd stomp on the ground like an angry child. Grace was right. Anna had followed me here. If we left now, she'd do it again. We have to report her for the... No, Jack. No police. They'd trust her first, 1,000,000 times over. I guess they would. Besides, I wasn't even sure if she'd done anything actually illegal. But what then? What do we do? I don't know. Why is this happening to us? Even as we talked, we kept our ears to the hallway. Though we both knew Anna was at work, the slightest echo of a footstep was enough to make us jump. Why can't she just leave us alone? Why does she even want from you? I think I might have a clue. I told Grace about how Anna was trying to make me remember stuff from years ago. But it was so long ago, anything could have made her obsessed with me. Jack, what? I'm sorry to say this. I know you always hated it when I did. What is it? I had a good feeling what she'd say. I didn't like it. You really have to remember. I pinched the bridge of my nose. There was a big headache coming on, right behind the eyes. I know. We can't win against her like this. Not when she knows so much more than we do. I know, alright? Do you think you can do it? I don't want to do it, but I think I can. I've never tried. Not seriously. Not since those first few days. Good, please do try. And thank you for not giving in, Jack. I know it must be hard. Do you need anything from the outside? I could sneak something in. I don't have a lot, but no, I don't need anything. And it keeps me well fed. I put as much contempt as I could put into those words. Are you doing alright, though? You don't have any money, do you? I think Anna's got some stashed around here somewhere. Grace refused. We can't risk her noticing. And besides, I'm doing okay. I'm staying with a friend. They're a big help. Oh, alright then. So she landed on her feet. It made me happy to hear that. I'll be going now, Jack. What, already? Anna won't be home for hours. She's not supposed to. We've got to be careful. And being here is all is making me so nervous I could die. You're right. Besides, we have plenty of time to spend together once this is over. Yeah, just the two of us. We looked at each other lovingly. Then the door slammed shut somewhere in the building. I really need to go. Bye, Jack. Bye, Grace. I love you. I wondered if it was still okay for me to tell Grace I loved her. But the words went and said themselves. Grace stood on her tiptoes to kiss me on the cheek. I love you too. Oh, God. That door opening made me thought that she was coming in, and I actually got scared for our characters. That's how scary this woman is, y'all. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Locking the doors after her was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but seeing her had given me the courage I needed. I felt I could do anything. And now, here we were, 5 days, 2 secret meetings later. I couldn't go on. Grace, I'm sorry. You can't stay here anymore. I really, really can't. I'm at my limit. No, I'm past my limit. I'm surprised I still got together. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Have you made any progress? It was an echo of Anna's constant questioning. But Grace wasn't doing it on purpose, I told myself. I kept my anger in check. No, nothing. I can't remember anything from that time. It's like one big blind spot. I can't do it. It's hopeless. If you say it's really hopeless, then I guess it's no use at all. You said the same thing last time, too. But I still made you try. It's my fault you're in so much pain. It's not your fault. It's hers. Finally! Someone's blaming the right person for this. I heaved a sigh. I need to pack a few things. Wait here, I'll be ready in 5. That's a no again. What? You can't mean... I want you to stay here, Jack. There's no way I can. Just a little bit more, I promise. She came up to me and felt my upper arms. You're so thin now. But you could still hold her down, right? A chill went over me. What do you mean? Aren't we running away? We can't run away. She'll find us again, and then what? I can't live like this. That, always afraid. I'm sure you can't either. So you're going to... She couldn't mean... Grace whispered a yes. No! It's wrong. It's plain wrong. Yeah, it is. But what else is there to do? She's backed us into a corner. It's practically self-defense. I guess if you're looking at it that way, then no, absolutely not. My head pounded at the temples. I'm so happy you agree. I so wish we could do it today, but I need to prepare. Can you stand being here until tomorrow evening? Yeah. Perfect, thank you. Tomorrow, Anna has the morning shift, and she'll be back early afternoon. Let's go for 6 o'clock. Okay. 6 o'clock. Please have her immobilized by then. Immobilized how? I was already swept up in this plan. So, okay, I think I know how he landed in the hospital now. He probably got her intoxicated, but he had to make her get herself intoxicated. I think I know what's going on now. He had to drink with her, to get her intoxicated. But something went wrong, obviously. I was already swept up in this plan. I didn't think twice about what Grace said anymore. The more immobilized, the better. If you just sat on her, that'd be alright, I guess. But tying her down would help bigly. And if you could knock her out, that would be amazing. I'll see what I can do. Thank you. I'll be in the outside, in the hallway. When she's all tied up or passed out or whatever, shout out so I know it's safe, okay? Alright. And then, what will you do then? To answer, Grace took a small knife out of her pocket. She turned it in her hand a few times. Only then did I realize the full weight of what she would do. And only then did I realize how she didn't seem bothered by it. Grace, what happened? What do you mean? This isn't like you. The Grace I know. I hesitate. What did Anna do to you? Grace's good mood seemed to evaporate. She pressed her face against my chest. She did a lot. I felt like I was dirt, and I promised myself it would never happen again. The knife was still in her hand. It looked so sharp. She took you from me, too. And the one thing I couldn't really forgive. Imagine how happy we'd be if she never existed. I put my arms around her. I get it. Then let me do it. Give me the knife. I don't want to see you do this. Maybe I'll be able to work something out, I thought. Maybe it won't have to lead to bloodshed. I hated the sight of blood. I'm sorry, Jack. This is something I have to do. No, it's not just that. The truth is, I want to do it myself. It's like nothing will ever feel right again if I don't do it. Grace put a hand on my chin. I leaned in closer, but she stopped me before we kissed. I love you, Jack. She looks kind of sinister here. I love you too. Her skin felt hot. She was giving off a heat like a furnace. Are you scared? Yeah. Please don't be. One day we'll look back on this and laugh. I don't know if that's the right attitude to have to committing murder. Even if she is a wench, and she's probably murdered other people, considering she said she was not stupid enough to stab someone right in the open. Makes me think she has murdered before. I did not know. I'm gonna have to end it here, though. We know the plan, okay? And we know what's gonna eventually occur. And this is probably how he ended up in the hospital in the first place. And we don't know what happened to Grace. Hopefully she's not dead. Hopefully she's not dead. I did not know that this would turn into a 4-video series. But I think next video is going to be the last one for it. So, right now, thank you guys so much for watching this. I will see you in the final video. Goodbye.